Hey guys, welcome to YH Unfiltered. So today I'm sharing my US B1 B2 visitor visa experience in Montreal as an Indian citizen living in Canada. Honestly, I was a bit nervous before going into the interview. I've heard so many stories about it being super strict, super long, lengthy, you had to wait in lines and stuff. But for me, it was really smooth. So my appointment was at 10 in the morning, but I reached outside at 9:30 just so that I didn't want to be late. But there's still 1 hour of waiting outside. So once I entered the consulate building, there was one security guy who was checking the passport, the DS-160 confirmation page, my photograph, and my status in Canada. That's my work permit. So I went inside and stood in the line. And there was a woman sitting, and she took my photograph and she applied a label on my passport, something like this. And then there was a security check. I had to put all my documents in a bin and then walk through the metal detector. So the security lady, she checked everything and then gave me back all my documents and stuff, and then told me to go to the first floor. So on the first floor, there are two different lines, and the lady told me to wait in the first line for biometrics and document verification. So I just stood in the line for like 2 minutes, and the lady officer called me, and she took my passport, my work permit, and my photograph, and then she took my fingerprints and then gave me all back and then told me to stand in another line, which was for the final interview. So I stood in the final line for like 5 minutes, and then they called me for the final interview. So again, the consulate officer asked me for my passport, my work permit, and my photograph, and then he started questioning me. So the very first question was, "What's your purpose of visit?" So I mentioned to him that I'm planning to visit New York on my birthday. The second question was, "How long have you been in Canada?" So I mentioned that 5 years. Just a tip, keep your answers as short and as confident as you can. So instead of saying like I have been in Canada for 5 years, just say 5 years. The third question was kind of a clarification. He asked 5 years on work permit. So I mentioned that no, 3 years on work permit, 2 years on study permit. And the final question was that do you feel that there's any danger to your life in India or Canada? And I said no. And that was it. He typed something in his computer, took my passport, and said that your visa is approved. And because I had paid premium delivery charges beforehand, that's like 30 Canadian dollars, I will receive my passport back to my home address within a week. So I waited for a week, and finally. So my advice would be just stay calm, keep all your documents organized, be honest, and be confident. That's it for today. See you in the next one. Till then, like, share, subscribe to YH Unfiltered.